All right, everybody, welcome back to the Spin Zone. This is a special episode of the Spin Zone. Colum Cronin has got something to talk about, and it might not sound like football because it's called Solitaire. I'm not even sure what this is about, but we're about to get into it. All right, guys, welcome back to the show. We're following up on our conversation about NFL gambling hypocrisy. And this story, I think, hits closer to home, like right in our living rooms, on our couches, in our homes, in our cars, on the network we all watch. It seems like the folks at ESPN are starring in their own scandal. Colum, what the hell's going on out there? And welcome back. It's good to see you, partner.
Yeah, good to be chatting to you again, Mike. And when you start pulling at a thread on one of your sweatshirts, and then it just keeps going and going. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you start pulling at the gambling thread. And we had a really interesting conversation with Steve O'Rourke, you and I, about a week and a bit ago now, all around the NFL's double standards, how they profit while hammering the players. Well, you mentioned it at the start, the sports channel, or what used to be a sports channel, maybe a sports entertainment now, a little bit like WWE wrestling. Yeah, they have their own scandal going, and do you know what? With everything going on over there, it might make the NFL look principled. And what I am talking about, Michael Carmelini, is the great solitaire shillout of 2025.
Oh, boy. So, okay, just so for everybody hearing about this for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
you know, who's involved? What are they doing? What are they promoting? It's it just seems really strange, right? It's off-putting, but what's going on? Who's involved? What's the deal?
Well, there was a great TV show called The Wire by David Simon, and within that TV show, one of the characters, Lester Freeman, says, "If you follow the drugs, you'll get drug dealers, but if you follow the money, who knows where that's going to lead you?" And we're going to follow the money, and we're going to talk about the faces that people see every day. They see them on their screens, they see them on their phones, they hear them on podcasts. These are the people who are supposed to break down the games, but instead they're cashing checks to promote a sketchy lawsuit plagued solitaire app. And the okay, so we'll set the scene, right? Who is the main attraction? Who is the the circus master? It is, of course, Stephen A. Smith.
Okay. Why did I know you were gonna say that?
Yeah, because everything goes back
Everything goes
to,
through him now, yeah.
yeah, apparently. He makes a king's ransom from ESPN. He's inescapable, and a little while back during the NBA finals, he got caught playing solitaire,
Right, I
and
remember that.
yeah,
Mhm.
and for most of us, that would be kind of embarrassing, right? Like, you're on a national stage, you're there, you're employed to keep an eye on this, and instead you're on your phone. Not for Stephen A, because Stephen A does not think like you or I. He thinks like Stephen A, and those dollar signs lit up in his eyes, and he thought this could be a wonderful branding opportunity.
Mm.
So he partnered with Papaya Gaming's Solitaire Cash App.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah, and it wasn't Stephen A. It's not just that he's doing it, right? Which would have been, you know, pretty cheeky. Um, at the very best. But no, 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 no. He decides he's going to bring the whole gang in on this. So he tweets out an AI video, an ad to promote this uh, sketchy app. And then he brings in the cavalry. So Mina Kimes, Laura Routledge, Orlovsky, Kendrick Perkins, and they all post these near identical cringy ads with the Beat Steven hashtag. It's none of it's organic. None of it is like they came across this and they're really excited and they want to tell people about it. No, this is a coordinated shill. That's what this is. They're highly compensated professionals. They all earn millions of dollars already, but they're peddling this like it's a timeshare. And that is why this is something that I felt we needed to talk about on Spin Zone, Power, PR, and the NFL.
Yeah, I definitely. And so back up. I remember Stephen A with the when he got quote unquote roasted on Twitter, uh, watching an NFL game that he's supposed to be covering, but he's playing solitaire. Now, I just want to ask you, because the first thing I thought was that whole thing wasn't accidental at all. Like him playing solitaire, I don't think that's what started this. I think it was already in the works, and then he got caught playing solitaire just to get everybody talking about it. That's the kind of person I think he is. I mean, I hate to even call him this, but that's how crafty and smart he is. Is it possible that that was even part of the game?
Oh, you old cynic. I think you might well be on to something, because rarely do these things happen just by chance. And if there is a man who is always very aware of his surroundings and always very aware of his reputation,
Yeah.
um, that would be Stephen A. So yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprised if
It's all
um,
part of the plan. So
all
I
part of the
so
plan.
so okay, sketchy. You say it's sketchy. It's a
Mhm.
solitaire app. It sounds kind of harmless. What's the catch? What's the problem? I guess. Are there is there something I'm missing? Is there something dark and like illegal perhaps about this?
Yeah, that's where you want to pull back the curtain, you want to peel away at the onion, whatever metaphor you want to use at this point, and you need to find out what exactly it is that they're selling. And that is the critical part of this, because it's not just innocent fun. The parent company, Papaya Gaming, they're in the middle of not just a lawsuit, but a federal lawsuit. And
Oh
a
boy,
and a judge has already ruled that it's undisputed that
undisputed.
that they used bots, right? They use bots, so fake computer players, to control the outcome of real money games.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Hmm.
so that's undisputed, which I would not be surprised if Stephen A was to maybe have a new show or a new podcast or a book. Keep an eye on that coming soon to maybe Christmas of 2026. You'll be able to buy one for all your loved ones during the holiday season.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, I'm laughing about it. We're making a joke of it, but the reality is like, they're defrauding users. Okay, that is the bottom line here. They're creating unwinnable situations to take people's hard-earned
Mm.
money. The deck is completely stacked against you, and it's not some sort of kind of gambling gray area. Their core product that they're promoting is alleged to be a complete scam. So
And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just, it seems initially like, oh, this is just a paid promotion and it's a bit of fun, and let's all kind of play solitaire and let's have fun and beat Steven. Yeah, well, when you have, people who are well respected, who are, lending their credibility to, potentially fraudulent operations, I think that's worthy of investigation at the very least.
Well, and coming on the heels of the show we did talking about this very subject, the hypocrisy and well, first of all, with the NBA scandal and arrests, the NFL hypocrisy with gambling suspensions for players, yet promoting so much gambling, possible fixing of games and all that, and now uh, ESPN at one time was uh, a trusted sports news source. For my generation, it was. It's kind of like how MTV. You most of our people may not remember this, but MTV, it stands for music television. They used to play music and show music videos on there. I don't know what they do now, but it's kind of like that. So ESPN, as a news organization, and they cover like these scandals, or they're supposed to. Now they're promoting gambling in their house. Uh, this is a conflict of interest. Am I wrong? This is a massive problem.
It's, I mean, it's stunning hypocrisy. It really is. And you mentioned like news outlet, journalistic principles. Well, do those things even exist anymore?
Mm.
Because I mean, this is a network that, it's supposed to cover gambling scandals, right? And has done with a straight face while they have their own gambling stuff going on. It talks about the integrity of the game, right? And various games. And meanwhile, its biggest stars, and truly its biggest stars, are promoting a company whose entire business model is being challenged as in court, and you have judges ruling against them. And I mean, we're talking right about this, and I think we'll keep the focus really on this today. But let's not forget, they weren't afraid to use their biggest stars in their dispute against YouTube as well. So, ESPN are happy to use their talent as pawns, and the pawns happy to be used as such, as long as they can keep going to the bank and keep collecting those checks.
Yeah, and I did see the some of the fan reaction online, and it seems like a lot of people are pretty upset about this. Right? This is, and they should be. Like, this is, again, this is a trust issue. It's okay for fans to have opinions. It's okay for haters to be haters, right? But there's supposed to be these uh, networks and these people who have earned the trust of for our trust. They've earned that trust, and now you know they're losing it. Like, why is this scandal in particular, in your opinion, like, why does this one hit home so hard uh, for so many of us?
I think because the way in which the stars lined up to participate. I think if this was just Stephen A, Mike, we mightn't be, as surprised, right? We
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 could
have thought
blow it off like another one of his crazy hot takes or something, and just which
exactly.
is kind of what I did, Colum, when the whole thing with him playing solitaire at
Hmm.
the game, I was like, "Yeah, that's funny. He's getting beat up for it."
Hmm.
But and then I thought, the guy's so busy, he's sitting there watching a basketball game, and he's like bored off his what, and he's playing solitaire. Who cares? Um, but now we know better, right?
Hmm.
And so I it's kind of not harmless at all,
Yeah,
and
and
it's hurtful.
and it's the others who've rode in behind. I mean, particularly somebody like Kimes, right? Who
Mina Kimes, yeah.
who was really seen as um a kind of a bastion of virtue of somebody
Yeah.
who was really by data driven, right?
Mhm.
And didn't have the agendas that Stephen A did, wasn't performing in character, and how and somebody who has and frequently does talk about ethics. I mean, I've had the good fortune to interview Mina in the past. I really admired her and the way she went about her business.
Yeah.
But how is she going to do that with a straight face again? And how can we, as an audience, trust that now, because that's been eroded? She's essentially sold out her credibility for a solitaire ad, and that's that's pretty bleak when you consider it. I mean,
Yeah.
we know that television can be a dirty business, right?
Yeah.
We've seen it with the late night hosts, and we see it in sports media as well. And Michelle Beadle, who was pushed out for Stephen A, I mean, she might
She
have an
called it
act.
gross. She
She
called it
did,
gross. Yeah.
and I get it. She might have an act. People might say she's an actor, right? Yeah, true, but she's also right in this instance,
Yeah.
right? Because where are the principles?
Yeah. Uh, all right. You know what? I've got to do this because I feel like you've earned this.
Not like mine, of course, which are banger after banger after banger after certified banger.
I think you're I
Ah,
think you're getting ready to take over some insider stuff here, Colum. It seems like and a lot of stuff we don't even talk about on this show yet. Stay tuned to the Spin Zone. We do have things that will be coming out on this show, but unlike other people, we double and triple verify everything before we put it out to you guys. You can trust us. Wrap this up for us, Colum. What does it mean? I mean, what's the big picture? What is this,
mhm.
going forward? What should happen? What is going to happen in your opinion?
Well, I think you've seen a couple of different things, right? Because I think we talked about the issue around gambling with Stephen, how that's an issue that isn't going away. But I do think media literacy is probably improving, because the response to this has been uniformly negative. I
Yes.
haven't seen anyone come out, and audiences aren't stupid, and they've seen right through this. The replies are an absolute bloodbath. They've just tried to ignore it and pretend that it's not happening. And it's gone from everything, right, with people pointing to the illegality and the corruption, to also the AI slop, because I think that really annoys people.
Mhm.
So I think, look, we're going to have to see how it plays out, and how it impacts on people like Mina Kimes and Dan Orlovsky, and does a short-term cash grab, does that end up costing them long-term credibility? Because it's very, once you turn the page, once you see the world in a new way, you almost can never go back, and that
Y
it totally changes it. And
yeah.
you have the supposed journalists, analysts, storytellers. They're supposed to be the buffer, right, between us and the corporate machine, and they have become the most brazen salespeople for a truly shady product.
Yeah,
And
and
yeah, it's
yeah, I
great.
it's depressing, right? It's depressing and frankly, it's not surprising to me knowing the things I know. I think one thing, maybe we should hit on to, before we get out of here, is the line between an analyst and an influencer. It used to be pretty easy to distinguish, and
Hmm.
that line got blurred, and now is there a difference anymore? Can we even tell? I think you can with some, but it's certainly it's starting to look like we're about to lose that. Like everyone's becoming an influencer when we just want analysis. What would you agree with that statement or disagree with that?
Yeah, look, I think when people have become more savvy, right, to advertising and the way in which advertising worked, the brands turned to celebrities to sell products, and unfortunately, greed has poisoned the entirety of the ecosystem, and I think it will be very difficult to know what is real and what's real excitement, and that has consequences that we aren't even aware of just yet. So I think all we can encourage our viewers and listeners is be skeptical.
Stay skeptical, folks. And hey, forgive me for doing this out on my patio today. It is November. It is like 65, 70 degrees. I couldn't force myself to go back in the studio today because I knew this conversation was going to make me a little bit frosty. And I figured I might as well stay out and enjoy a beautiful day. Colum, it's wonderful to see you as always. Thanks for breaking it down and getting this mess all put together in one place for us on the Spin Zone. Guys, we're going to try and bring this stuff to you every week that we can. And if you don't know that, Colum is in Dublin, Denver, and I am in the Midwest. Broncos, go Broncos, 8-2. We'll talk about that later. But until next time, Colum, any final words to the listeners?
If hopefully they've enjoyed this, check out the rest of the episodes. There are 4 others out there, some really interesting stuff with Steve O'Rourke around gambling, with Sam Monson around the shouty shows, Zach Seegers about the Browns leaving Cleveland, and
that was a great episode. Yeah.
A really good episode with Zach, and you and I suppose, talking about media personalities and the characters that they create. So yeah, if you enjoy, please do rate, review, subscribe, or better yet, just tell a friend about us.
Yep. And on that note, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, it helps us out a ton. We'll see you real soon. Thanks, guys.